Alright guys, welcome to today's masterclass. So today we're going to break down step by step my technique since I started with lifting at the age of 11 years old. And for those who don't know me, I'm Brian Ibanez, Pan American champion, youth world medalist. I am a multiple times national champion and I've coached over 70 people from all over the world and all levels, from people who snatch 30 kilos to people who snatch over 140 kilos. So today, without further ado, let's get into the snatch breakdown. So in this video right here, I was 11 years old. I just started with lifting 6 months ago. I already knew the technique because my father is a Pan American champion and my mother is a master world champion. She's about to go to the CrossFit Games right now. So back when I was younger, they teach me the technique a little bit here and there, but it wasn't serious at all. It was maybe like once a month or once every 2 months because I was doing gymnastics like full time. I was training 4 or 5 hours every single day doing gymnastics, and I became provincial champion and I won the national championships in teams and all this stuff. So at the age of pretty much, I think it was 10, I quit gymnastics and I tried diving, and I tried MMA, and I tried boxing, and I tried a bunch of stuff, but then I tried with lifting, and that's what I stuck to because I just became addicted. So now let's see, 50 kilo snatch after only 6 months the sport, but as I said, I already knew the technique. So starting position here, the only thing that I will notice is the same thing as with Emily. I am a little bit way too much on my toes. I should be with my bum a little bit higher, a little bit more on the middle of the foot and on my heels, so I can truly feel the power of the legs. Because here this is a very good position. The bar is a little bit outside, but obviously I didn't know the technique that much. And look, the heels, this is the problem when you start with all the weight on your toes, all the weight forward, is that the heels come out just right here. Here the heels should even still be on the floor, so you can truly push and use 100% the power of your legs, because all the power is on your legs. So the heels should be on the floor, because here you cannot truly push with the legs, right? You push a little bit, but you don't use the full power of your legs. The bar is always close to me. That's something that I like. Could be a little bit more close, but the bar crushes on me a little bit, and that's why. It's because I didn't truly push with the legs for that reason, right? Because I started forward, then the heels came out the floor, and then I cannot truly push. I can just hit the bar, but the reason why I make the lift is because I hit the bar with the hips, and instead of the bar going far away from me, the bar stays somewhat close. So that's why I'm able to save the lift. Okay, see, I receive a little bit forward too, because when you start the snatch forward, you're going to receive forward. This was during the pandemic. This was during COVID, and we were training. The gym was closed, obviously, and we were training in our apartment at the time, right? Here you can see my mother, the TV, and all of this stuff. Yeah, it was some crazy time, and I could not drop the weights because I had neighbors, so I had to hold on the weight every single time, and I could not miss. And this was like my 95%, 100%. I was smashing PRs there, and I feel like that's where truly my career took off, because everybody was not training, and I just took advantage. Right now in this stage, we were training like 3-4 times per day, like all day long, just training, sleeping, training, sleeping. That was all I was doing during months and months during the pandemic. So that's what truly got me to the next level. Here there is 70 kilos, okay? So see, this start position is 10 times better than the first one, because in this start position, all the weight it's actually on my legs. It's not forward, right? Here this is perfect. Here the heels already come out, but in this position right here, let's see if I can take it, you can truly push with the legs, right? You cannot use 100% of your legs when you're the heels are already coming out and the bar hasn't even hit your hips, but I can use a little bit more of the legs, even though I don't truly use them. But you know, the snatch entry very very good, the catching position very very good, because when you start, you know, with your chest up, this is the ideal starting position. Like this is a textbook starting position. So the catching position is also very good. The only thing is, as I don't use my legs, I don't have control on the movement of my feet. So you know, it's a little bit wide in the receiving position. Not gonna lie. If there was, you know, 80 kilos and I have to go into full squat here, I'll probably, you know, hurt my hip or something like that. So that's why, you know, it's so important for me to fix that and truly, you know, have all of the weight on my legs, you know, right here, and not, you know, let the heels come out already. Okay, that's why it's so important. So for this, one of the best exercises to fix this is going to be snatch to stops. And see, I am very good at this exercise, even though I've done it like maybe 2 or 3 times, and I did 150 kilos for the first time of my life. I did it doing snatch to stops. Why? Because I can actually use my legs, and in the snatch to stops, I cannot, you know, remove my heels from the floor. So that's why Emily, me, we are so good at snatch to stops, is because, you know, it fixes that weakness with that variation. But obviously, for my part, I need to work on that more. Let's analyze now my first 150 kilo snatch. So this right here, I was 17 years old. I was weighing 79 kilos only. I was like very very shredded. Let's analyze this. So this is in slow motion. This is perfect. So starting position, and this is something, you know, that I've tried myself. I've started with my chest completely up and my bum a little bit lower, like in this position, like Luke Xiao Jun, let's say. And I've tried, you know, with the bum a little bit higher, like in the last snatch, and I feel way way better in this position. But you know, it has its consequences. So this position right here, you know, very very good. The shoulders are in front. Maybe, you know, relax a little bit more the arms, because the bar hasn't even passed the knees, and I'm already, you know, working with my arms a little bit. So this right here, very good. See, in this position right here, the heels hasn't come out yet, which is very good. The chest should be a little bit more up, because here my arms are contracted, my chest is down, so I'm going to receive, you know, it's going to crash on me a little bit. See, good here. I push very good with the legs, even though, you know, the heels come out again, right? But not that much. I can truly, you know, finish the extension with my legs. This is very good right here. Boom, the bar stays close to me. And then, because my chest was down, and, you know, in this position right here, and I was only working with my arms, I could not use 100% the power of my legs. So that's why, you know, here is going to crush on me a little bit. Okay, see the mobility that it takes. You know, people are like, yeah, Brian, you know, if you want to snatch more, you need to snatch more. You want to improve your clean and jerk, you need to, you know, do more clean and jerk. That's not how it works. I cannot understand how coaches who've been on this space, you know, the space of weightlifting for 10, 15 years, they're like, yeah, like you want to snatch more, then just, you know, snatch more, and you're going to make some PRs. It takes years of hard work. Yes, it does take years of hard work, but not only snatching, right? There's variation, there's mobility work. You can see, if I would have skipped my mobility work, how do you think my ankles and my knees and my hips are going to take this weight at this position right here? You think I got this mobile by only snatching? You know, you get what I'm saying. So you also need to see, also need to look at the results of the person. If his or she's been lifting the same weights for the past 10 years, then it tells you something that, you know, he's doing mistakes, right? If he's been without progressing truly in the last 10 years, there's a reason for that, right? He's making mistakes. But anyways, we're not gonna say names here, but look at this mobility. Look at this positioning. You think I can do this without mobility, without my accessories, without, you know, all of the strength and conditioning that I do? Like, no, absolutely not. And here I'm able to save the lift. People say, you know, here on the left, left arm, a little bit of a press out. But guys, like, comment comment if it's a press out or not. I'm against the press out rule, but I truly don't care because I don't usually press out. But yeah, here there was a little bit of a press out. Yeah, so this is 135. This was before a competition in Germany. Okay, here this was in November 2024. So I was weighing 82, 83 kilos, and I was 18 years old. So this position right here, you guys can see like every single 3-4 months I just change a little bit my starting position because I'm trying to find my own style, right? I've been in the sport for 8-9 years and I'm still, changing a little bit of things here and there to try and find my own style. The number one mistake that beginners make is that they try to copy, Chinese weightlifters or Carlos Nazar or all of this stuff. I'm not saying that, for example, Carlos Nazar has a bad technique. He doesn't. He has a good technique, but for himself. It only works for him. If I try to, replicate the technique of Carlos Nazar, it's not going to work. And if he tries to replicate my technique, it's not going to work. You get what I'm saying? So there's no perfect technique. There's only your technique, and you need to try different things to see what works and what doesn't work for you, okay? You can see in the Olympic Games, for example, there's over 2,000 athletes and everybody does, snatch and clean jerk, and it all looks different, right? There's the Chinese, they live their own way. There's the Bulgarians that live their own way. There's the Europeans that, live their own way. So you guys need to understand that, there's no perfect technique. So stop trying to copy, these bigger lifters. So let's get back to my lift. Here, very good position. The chest is up, the shoulders are in front, and the heels. Again, I've been having the same mistake for forever since I started with lifting. But here I can truly push with my legs, which is good. And I truly finish the extension. The bar is close. And very, very solid lift at 135. This is a very, weight that I can do any day of the week. So, it's not that impressive. But here is my best power snatch, okay? So this is 135 kilos. This was also in November 2024 before a German, international open. So let's analyze this. So I'm a little bit forward in the starting position, but after, I really keep the bar close. So it compensates a little bit, and then the heels are already coming out and the bar hasn't even hit my hips, okay? So that's not very good, but I truly finished the extension. You can see here the difference. Here I truly use the power of my legs and I'm able to take it power, okay? Now let's analyze my first 160, because you guys are going to see with my own styles that, that usually has a bunch of technical mistakes, I was able to snatch 160. So this is the proof that, you don't truly need the perfect technique. You only need your own style. Here's 160. And this is my best lift ever, obviously. Okay, so starting position, my bum is down, but my chest is up, right? I'm a little bit forward. So there's a little bit of a bunch of mistakes there in the starting position. But then I correct. I put my shoulders in front. The bar is still a little bit forward. So the bar hasn't even hit my hips again, and the heels are already coming out, okay? So I truly finished the extension, but the number one thing that made me, me being able to snatch 160 is that I'll always keep the bar close. Okay, you can see the bar is extremely close. It almost hits my head, right? And then boom, I enter very, very solid, very, very good lift, right? There's, as I said, a bunch of technical mistakes, but I'm still able to snatch it. So is it truly a technical mistake, or is it truly, my own style? So that's what you need to truly decide with your coach. Do I keep doing this because it's actually giving me results, or do we modify this and that, right? 160 that I did at the Arnold in competition. Because, there's a little bit of change with straps and without straps. Okay, so here, same position as, 160 in training. The shoulders, they go a little bit more in front, but what truly messes up the lift is that I have the bar far away from me in the first pull, right? It's not touching my quads at any time. You can see right here. And you can say, yeah, but Brian, it's only 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter, you can have 1 centimeter out and you can fail the lift. just by 1 centimeter. This is a very, very precise and technical sport. You know, people say, oh, it's only a strength sport. Yes, it's a strength sport, but it's also very, very technical, okay? So here the bar is a little bit outside, so that's why I don't make the lift, right? That's why it falls down behind. If I will have kept close the bar, like in training, I will have made it. And yeah, because there's enough height in the bar, right? The bar was a little bit outside in the first pull, same thing in the second pull, so that's why I filled the lift behind. Alright guys, so if you want me to correct your snatch technique, just like I did like me, I do technical breakdowns to every single one of my clients every single month for 10-15 minutes, just like I did for myself. So you can click the link down below, answer to the 7 questions, and book a one-on-one call with me. It's a qualification call where I see if we can work together and you can truly, you know, be a good fit for my team, okay? So thank you so much for the support and see you guys on my one-on-one coaching. God bless you.